What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
Mountains!
All you ever learned is my desire.
My name is Frankenstein!
Goblins gone mad!
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice creamed business.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive! It's alive!
Here's Johnny. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains. There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror.
What's up, all you horror movie loving fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Fright Flick FMK podcast. I'm Jay.
And I'm John.
Damn right, people. We got him back for another episode.
This is what I every other. I skipped one. Now I'm back for another one.
You skipped one, yeah. So back for another one. And how you been?
I'm doing fine. Nothing much really been happening in my world or anything like that. Just I got all these fucking kids, so there's always something going on, but it's the same old song and dance. So, if anybody first time tuning in and wants to know, like, why does that guy look like shit? He's got to have a lot of kids.
Yeah, he got his own little squad down there.
Yeah. And I'm not religious at all, so we did it for completely stupid reasons. Just it definitely wasn't for an economical reason for sure. But no, man, doing good, and ready to talk about this movie. Just so everyone knows, this was your pick.
Hold on.
You liked it what? Well, oh yes, okay. So yeah, there's a story to why this was picked.
This one was picked. I had someone on Instagram reach out to me, and we're on Instagram family, Fright Flick FMK. And I've said it on the show before. Hey, if y'all reach out to me and recommend a movie, if I hadn't seen it, we hadn't done a show, we'll fucking talk about it. And somebody finally took me up on it and did it. Daniel Butler hit me up through Instagram, and he asked me, he asked me, do you take recommendations for movies? And I was like, yeah, man. I said, I'm always looking for new horror to watch. And he dropped me the link to this movie. And that's how I'd never heard of this movie until he reached out to me and recommended it. And, I hit the link and this is on Tubi.
Yeah.
It's going to be easy to watch, free on Tubi.
But it's not a Tubi original, right?
No. It's just,
okay, I didn't think so.
Tubi.
I was sitting there asking that question after the fact, and I was like, I don't believe this was a Tubi original, because I know your movie last week, what was it? Don't Feed the Kids or Don't Feed the Children?
Don't Feed the Children, yeah.
Yeah. That one was a Tubi original. But this one's on Tubi, and it's called Hemet, or The Landlady Don't Drink Tea. This is another one 2 weeks ago when we did Cannibal Mukbang, which everyone go check that episode out if you haven't. This was like this, where it was like, I can't believe a movie called Cannibal Mukbang existed, and I at least had never heard of it before.
Yeah.
This is another one where, obviously, you would only ever need to see this title once, and you'll never forget at least having heard of this movie before, even if you have no idea what it's about. I had never heard anything about this. You want to do the IMDb intro, and then let's get to working on this bitch.
Right off the IMDb, people, 2024 film. How'd you say that word? Hemet?
Hemet is how I pronounced it. It's a place in California, so I just pronounced it as...
I pronounced it as Southern as I know how, and I just said Hemet.
Hemet? Yeah, Hemet. Maybe.
Hemet or Hemet, or The Landlady Don't Drink Tea. A tyrannical, I think I'm saying that word right. A tyrannical landlady, lord.
Sorry, I was listening to the Google AI pronounce it. It is Hemet.
Hemet?
Hemet. So it's a little of both. You do put a little bit of pronunciation on it, but like how they spell it, and this is everyone's Fright Flick word of the week. When it's spelled phonetically, which if you've ever seen a word spelled how it's supposed to sound, that is a word being spelled out phonetically. They do it HEH-MUHT. So Hemet, kind of.
Wow.
It's a stupid fucking town name. Did anybody who lives out in Hemet, if you listen to this, I'm sorry, but I never heard of the town before this either.
I haven't either. And if you live there, send me a message. And I want to hear how y'all say it out there. But yeah.
And how it is too, because this movie does not portray it as a place to have ever wanted to live, even before the events that took place.
If you're from Hemet, this movie does not shine well on you. It does not. It does not give me high hopes for your town.
Yeah.
You know, it's
definitely seems like a place in California that you could just skip.
Yeah, it's also a place in California where you could literally go and be killed and just forgotten, like just never.
Yeah. There seems to be plenty of places you could hide a body. But yeah, did you finish the intro on IMDb, or did I interrupt that?
Oh no, I'll get it back into it. A tyrannical.
Yeah, you did that one right. That's good.
That's another weird word I don't like because it makes me think of a dinosaur.
A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, the word kind of throws me. A tyrannical landlady lords over her tenants during an epidemic, pitting them against each other in a web of paranoia spun for deadly results. Directed by Tony Omas, writer Brian Patrick Butler.
All right, so
that is the IMDb.
Yeah, everybody feel free to go check it out. It's okay. So as up for, I guess I'll take care of the housekeeping things. If you're new here, we rate everything as fuck it, marry it, or kill it. Obviously, if it's a marry, big time love the movie. If it is a fuck it, maybe you enjoyed watching it, but you're probably not going to watch it again. And then, of course, a kill is not good. We always recommend that you go check these movies out, no matter what we say. And for sure, we're going to spoil the shit out of this. So be forewarned. When you suggested, because you sent me this movie and was like, hey, this is the one I'm doing this week. And someone told me, about it. And, you were like, hey, when you want to do another one? And, hey, I'll do this one. So it's,
Did you watch the trailer or anything going into it? Okay.
Nope. Didn't see. And I find that I think I didn't even really think about watching the trailer on this one. I guess because I knew it was on Tubi, and having not heard of it at all and having no idea, I kind of took the same, because I did that with Cannibal Mukbang. I didn't even watch the trailer or anything, even though I was tempted to, because I really thought I was in for a very different movie than what we got. Again, if you haven't seen that episode, go check it out. But yeah, no, I went in completely blind. Now, this thing is listed as and even Tubi has it listed as horror and comedy.
Yeah.
IMDb has it listed as B horror, dark comedy. I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans on this one. I don't know why this is considered a horror. So I know why they call it that. And it's literally because of like the last few minutes of the movie.
Oh yeah.
And it's to this point now where like any movie that has gore, they just throw horror on it.
Yeah.
And horror is supposed to be like, it's supposed to scare you. This movie doesn't try to scare you. That's never the intention of this movie.
No.
And honestly, it could lead to people watching this. This is definitely a dark comedy. And so keep that in mind as we talk about it, because that was one of the biggest things at first that was kind of hitting me when I was thinking about my opinion on it after watching it, because I was literally like, I should not have even watched this movie. Like this doesn't belong here. And
the whole time I'm watching it, I'm asking myself the same thing. I was like, how did they ever tag horror onto it? And then I got to the ending And I was like, okay, like, cause I'm like you, they throw a little bit of blood and gore in there, and
Yeah.
automatically that's horror because you showed some blood, and now it's horror, and that's what it felt like because I'm watching the whole thing and never had any part of it like when I think of horror, something's got to make me feel uncomfortable.
Get some tension or
Yeah,
something. There was not
something.
even any tension. And again, that's not the filmmaker's fault. You could
Yeah.
tell they were not trying to do that
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like Shaun of the Dead, which of course is one of the probably one of the most well-known horror comedies, certainly in modern times. Shaun of the Dead has moments where it goes horror. It's building tension. Nothing's really supposed to be funny at that moment. There's a real threat. It is a horror comedy.
Yeah.
When you have a dark comedy, you're going to very easily, because usually when there's dark comedy, it involves crimes, murder, something like that. And so you can have some blood and guts in there, but like there is no tension, there's no suspense, there's no jumps, there's not even jump scares in this thing.
No, hell no.
Nothing is played for that. So while we talk about that, everybody keep that in mind, because again, we always tell you to go check these movies out, but like just straight off the jump, like it's not really horror. The biggest comparison I could give it was, and I mean, it was on like, I think there was like a review I had read or some tagline, someone, maybe it was on IMDb when I was scrolling, that compared it to like Pink Flamingos. Have you ever seen that, Jay?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
So John Waters movies, he did Pink Flamingos, Hairspray, but yeah, like Pink Flamingos and Multiple Maniacs, very early on. They are very dark comedy with some real grotesque imagery in it. Again, but there's never anything horror about it. That's what this is, and I wanted to make sure we're kind of on that page, because I literally, after everything had happened, I had to sit there and like re-review it in my head as not a horror movie to at least give it a fair shake.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's kick into doing it, because I didn't want to give everybody that thing. But yeah, if you happen to be a John Waters fans or like that kind of really fucked up comedic gross stuff, this one's definitely a big recommend for you, because clearly they were inspired by that kind of shit. But yeah, so the movie opens up and we got two guys just sitting there talking
at a picnic table outside.
Yeah, it's Gary and Martin.
And Gary, but the crazy part was, I'm wondering, like, Gary comes walking up to the table carrying a box TV.
That's right. Yes, Martin's at the table first. Gary comes in, one of those old tube TVs.
Yeah, it's
not even a good one, like a shitty one you'd have had like in a camper back in the day.
And you could tell he's got like an extension cord run out there.
Yeah, they're trying to, and he's trying to get signals.
He's trying to get a signal, but those types of TVs only work with an antenna. There is no antenna on that fucking TV when he brings it out there. It's just
not only that, but they worked with analog. Do we even broadcast? I mean, maybe the system. Because I remember some people may not. We're old enough to when they started having to sell digital antennas.
Yeah.
Like, so even to get like ABC, CBS, your standard public stations here in America, you had to get a digital antenna if you had an older TV that didn't have one built in.
I wonder, I don't even know if you can still like,
I don't even know if
it's possible now to like pull the regular antenna TV type shit.
You would imagine they kept it available. However, they would do that, at least for like an emergency. It seems like that would at least be like a good backup.
Yeah.
Like digital would go down before that would. If it was assuming it was still there. Yeah, he's carrying that shit around and they're kind of chatting back and forth and they're setting up to let you know that like there's zombies and the zombies were the results of bath salts.
Bath salt zombies, man.
Which wasn't that a thing on the
internet? It was a while back. There was a big
few years ago.
Yeah, several years ago there was this big thing with like bath salts and people just like going berserk on.
Wasn't somebody in Florida too? Like a Florida man ended up
maybe
being the one that like was high on bath salts, and they like found his roommate and he'd been chewing on him and shit. And
yeah, like just wanted like maybe I heard some shit like somebody talking about it like like made somebody want to like eat somebody's face off or something, and I'm just like and maybe that's where they got it because they make the comment about like this pandemic. Basically, the bath salts has created this pandemic.
Yeah,
and people are turned into like cannibals type thing. So we've got the pandemic. I thought it was going to be like a zombie type thing, but it wasn't really. They were just hyped up on bath salts.
Yeah, and it definitely the main outbreak has already happened, and
Yeah.
that's done. So
Yeah.
like when you're like, so it's not so much of like they're like trying to escape hordes of these zombies. These people have been turned, but yeah, when you see them, they don't really look like zombies. They look like fucking street junkies.
Yeah, like a meth head. They look like meth the fuck
like
out.
they just hyper accentuate it, like like the weird spottiness of the skin, like
Yeah.
all that stuff is really hyper shown in the movie. But yeah, they just look like really fucked up junkies that have been really high for a really long time, and that's basically what they are. But they also, does it not seem, because they talk about some guy who got his legs eaten off below the knees, is that all they want?
Apparently, because when he talks about it, like, you don't want to go out there because if you go out there, they're going to catch you and they're going to eat your legs off. Like,
Right. And so I was curious if that was legitimate, or if that plays into the fact that, because they talk about they found somebody, there was like a radio, they have radio signal where they were talking somebody, they had found a man without his legs or someone without their legs. So I wonder if, because that comes back up later in the movie and someone else is guilty of doing that. So I did
yeah.
wonder if they had anything to do with that person that was reported to have had that, but they do bring that up. And again, this is why we had to put that warning beforehand. Like, there's no horror coming. Like, it's not coming. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not even like humor like Shaun of the Dead or Tucker and Dale,
Yeah.
or anything like that. This is going to be like very dry. You have to kind of see it and be it. Another thing too, it kind of felt like almost like it was like meant to be almost like a play.
Yeah.
It always seemed like there was, because every scene was basically a conversation,
Yeah.
except for like a couple of them. Which again, did you see that this movie was made for only 29,000?
Yep. I did. I was going to hit on that. The budget of it, 29,000.
Yep. So another thing to keep in mind,
Yeah.
I think it's just flat out awesome that there's people out there intending to make micro budget movies just to at least continue to show people they can be done. Because no matter what we say later on, this is definitely a completed movie.
Yeah.
This is a capably made movie. People here know their equipment and their shit like that. So the fact they pulled off what they did for $29,000, regardless if we like it or not, fucking kudos to everyone involved for that shit.
Yeah.
And just further showing you that you can do that shit.
Oh yeah.
Still in 2025 and in America, because this is made here. And then they started immediately talking about, back to Gary and Martin, they immediately started talking about, like, fucking nowhere, just our landlady sucks.
Yeah. It's like, and Gary just comes across as that disgruntled, like, he hates everything about life. He just kind of like wakes up in the morning wanting to complain about some shit. And him and you said Marvin, I believe, just
Martin. Yeah.
And they're talking about this landlady, and like how she's a bitch, and what she's charging, and because of this pandemic going on, they can only afford to live in this little town of Hemet because of, I guess, how expensive everything else is going on out there with the.
Well, and doesn't it seems like they keep referring almost to the fact that, like, there's some like hyper laws in place now.
It's like martial law.
Yeah, but something like gives landlords a lot of power. Maybe that's something standard in martial law that I was unaware of. I don't know. But in this movie, landlords they basically are like kings over it. Like the whole like 30-day, 90-day notice, none of that shit flies.
Bitch,
all that shit's out.
Bitch, you just come out there and raise your shit by look at it wrong, $100 extra a month.
And speaking of bitch, Liz,
yep,
who is the old landlady, she just wills up while they're talking about it.
Because what's it? Don't the old girl show up?
Rosie first shows up, and she's another one of the tenants there. And they kind of chat a minute. Rosie's kind of telling them to, like, quit being bitching and everything like that. And that, it could be worse, whatever. Maybe Rosie's just trying to look on the bright side of everything. whatever. And then Liz comes rolling up, but then she asks Rosie for like help pushing her or something, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so, because I don't remember that. I just remember it shows her in a wheelchair, like Liz is in a wheelchair.
I got to be honest, and I put this. I'll say it now, but it's in my final thought. That I said I'm definitely planning to watch this again without having to take notes, because again, as it kept going, it suddenly you reached a point in the time where I was like, this is never going to be a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
This is only a dark comedy. Like, and again, and no offense to whoever the guy was that gave this to you. I mean, again, everybody can feel how they want. I just don't see it as a dark or as a horror. And honestly, man, like some of my memory, dude, I took notes and stuff, but like some of my memory of it is just kind of shot because I just kept looking for more than what was there, because I kept being like, where's the horror? I just kept doing that all the time, and I feel like I missed a lot of what was probably the comedy, because I kept looking for the horror that, again, this film never tried to be, but got labeled as such.
Yeah. I was the same way watching it, because I kept asking myself numerous times throughout it, like, why is this listed as horror? You know, until the ending when it showed some blood and some shit go on.
Right.
But
and even then you could maybe say it, I guess, but like, again, like there wasn't even, you look back and like there was no even hints that this was going to turn into a horror. Cause like one of my favorite movies is Audition. If anyone knows that. And I mean, that does not have anything really horror until like the last like 20 minutes of like I believe over 2-hour movie. But there's tension building the whole time. You know, something's fucking wrong. Something's not right. This doesn't have that. It didn't try to do that. But Liz comes up. So did you realize that Liz is played by the writer?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you saw that. Yeah, Brian Patrick Butler plays Liz. He also wrote the movie. So I have a feeling that he just, I guess, was like, nobody else can play her the way I played her. And clearly the movie's built around her as a character. She has, I mean, it's Landlady Don't Drink Tea. So she's kind of referenced in there. The whole movie's built around her, but she comes up and she is very, very fucking sharp tongued.
Oh yeah.
You will enjoy hearing Liz talk, I believe. I don't think anybody would not have fun listening to her talk.
Yeah.
Very memorable dialogue. And some of the insults were very, very well done. And I enjoyed it a lot. And that's again why I was like, I gotta go back and watch this.
Yep. And yeah, it was when she shows up. And at first I was threw off by her as soon as it showed her.
By the makeup?
The makeup. Yeah. At first I was like, holy shit. And I was like, and instantly I knew like that's a dude dressed up, like tried to like Miss Doubtfire this thing, you know, and dressed up like her. But like I said, maybe in his mind he knew what he wanted for what Liz to be. And in his mind he was like, I know what I want her to be. I know what I want her to sound like. So I'm going to do it. You know,
and he could have gotten away with it too. Like, not to sound like a Scooby-Doo villain, but like he would have gotten away with it too. Like if it hadn't have been for the makeup. Yeah. And I put this in my final thoughts too. And this is something, I don't know if you noticed it. I couldn't help but notice it because literally the first time you see Liz is one of the worst makeup jobs for Liz in the movie.
Yeah.
Again,
it's like it changed.
Yeah, I literally, my first final thought, I put it under there and I had this within like 30-40 minutes. I was like, the old lady makeup is constantly catching my eye. The quality is not consistent. In some scenes it's way better, some it's worse. I was like, this was made on a budget of $29K, but when something is the focal point of the movie, make sure the budget is there for it. And like they have those reusable things. Again, I don't know how much they cost. I don't. And maybe they thought it was funnier to that it looked low budget. The other example I was trying to think of when I was saying earlier with John Waters and Pink Flamingo was the trauma movies, like Toxic Avengers, Class of Nukem High, Romeo and Juliet, that kind of horror, gross out comedy shit. You would dig this as well. But yeah, dude, like that was rough, and it was really rough around the mouth, and it looked like It looked like her mouth was made out of a loose asshole. Like that movie, that show Preacher. Did you ever watch that show Preacher?
Yeah, the dude had the butthole face.
He looked like blown out ass face. Like fucking like, but it was, and you can clearly tell the gap to where the wrinkles for the lips were here, and then it was a sharp like edge, and then clearly a young regular set of lips there, and the eyes.
Yeah,
very clear. You could tell it there. But once you got past that, again, keep in mind it was made for $30K basically. Liz is actually was a lot of fun.
She was.
I loved hearing her. Yeah. Everybody she talked shit to, even the people she seemingly liked, like Rosie, she kind of had a sharp mouth with.
Yeah, like, you know, she was, as soon as she started talking and the quick little comebacks and the way she would talk, and, you know, she started dropping, you know, cunt here and fuck, all this shit. And I'm just like, okay, I'm a fan of Rosie. I don't know where this movie's going. I mean, not Rosie, but Liz. I was like, I don't know where we're going, but
yeah,
I'm Team Liz right now.
Yeah. I'm on her side, at least as a character.
Yeah,
she's very interesting to watch and everything like that. And during this whole thing, she says Martin doesn't keep his apartment clean enough, so she gives him 24 hours to vacate.
Liz was fucking racist.
Yes, it does come out, and
it comes across that way.
It is, it comes across there. But if you're like, well, I don't want to feel that way, she secures it for you later. Don't worry about it. If you're like, well, that kind of felt weird, it's supposed to feel weird because she is a racist and it's part of her character. Kicks him out, and Gary talks some shit to her when she's walking away.
Yeah, called her a bitch or something like that.
Yeah, and then she hears him, and she raises his rent by $100 a month. And then because Rosie was pushing her wheelchair and being nice, she was like, Rosie, I'm gonna knock 100 off of yours. And Rosie's like, I can't accept that. She's like, actually, you're right. I'm gonna knock off 50 off of your rent, and then I'm gonna keep 50 for me because I'm saving up for them Grey's Anatomy's box sets. Yeah. Like, and I'm just sitting. That's where I'm just like, okay. And again, like, that's where, like, again, those underground kind of gross out comedy type thing, it goes to there. And once this scene is done,
then don't we go to the boyfriend showing up?
No, sir, we don't.
Oh,
there's a small.
Yeah, there's the sex scene.
Yeah, the Liz sex scene.
Yeah,
I literally put, she gave Martin 24 hours to vacate and raise Gary's rent $100 per month. Cut to Liz riding a much younger Asian male hooker, cowgirl style. Gross. Like, good noises and the sounds and the shit she's saying is fucking. And dude, like, he's like laying there because she's just riding him, and he's just like kind of fucking looking away, like,
if you don't want to look at it, you just
like this is, no pun intended, the hardest money he's ever made.
Yeah, and it was because you knew something was going on as soon as they cut to that scene. You started hearing like sex noise, and I was like, I'm assuming the girl Rosie we just seen. Maybe no, we get straight up landlady Liz up there just going to town on the little boy's cock, and she's just like, the way she's talking, she like slaps him a couple times. And the old boy's sitting there, like you said, like, this is the hardest money I ever had to fucking earn.
Yeah, no, and sorry, I had an issue. Can you hear me now? My mic messed up for a second.
Oh, you good?
Settings, Zoom was messing up, but yeah, back to it. This guy, and then at the moment she's done,
she pulled the dude move on him.
Yeah, she just rolled over.
Yeah.
And just started talking shit to him about, and like appreciative of the fact that he could stay erect. Very a funny but gross fucking scene.
Yeah. Because for me, it doesn't show you anything when that happens. It just, you see her riding. But what it did for me is it made me, because maybe that's how my brain works, I start picturing shit. Yeah. I start picturing the face that you gave me, Liz, a couple minutes ago.
The blown out asshole mouth.
Yeah. I seen that face, and when I seen the sex scene, my brain automatically started building the body that matched that face.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there going,
I feel sure you probably did a pretty accurate job. Had Liz been a legit woman of that age, yeah, like you don't have to see it because you could see it when you close your eyes.
Yeah, the image was
Like,
there, and I could just
yeah.
imagine what my boy was looking at. You know, I was just like, oh my.
He was trying to look at the back of his fucking eyelids. What he was trying to look at, but like, dude, the noise, like there was nothing he could do to not be very present in that moment. And I felt bad for him. And like, that is, nobody should have to go through that. So yeah, after all of that is then it cuts over to Rosie's boyfriend, Jason. He returns, he's in a band, and apparently their tour got cut short because of all of the issues. It appears that like society is still in the process of shutting down. I don't know, because like there was one scene later on where she's talking about picking the kids up from school, and she's like, I thought the schools were all shut down, and she's like, they did. Today's the last day. So again, like the main crux of everything is kind of taking place, and I guess they're kind of realizing like there's not enough people around to do certain shit.
Yeah.
And you know, people are still, because there's also, you later find out people are still taking bath salts, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's like street drug out there.
And there's plenty of what do they call them later? Salties or salt heads or whatever.
At one point, he does call them he calls them a salty. That police officer does.
Yeah. But like, there's people who have not turned into that are selling the bath salts to them, because like when they're not high on them, they're like, I guess, not attacking people.
Yeah.
Because if not, then there's people who are not zombies who are buying it, because there's clearly a scene where they're showing the bath salts being sold.
Yeah.
Because she kicks Martin out, and spoiler, because he comes back briefly later, but like it shows him when he's living on the streets, he's dealing bath salts.
Yep.
So I mean, again, you know, the junkies look like junkies, and the zombies look like junkies. So I don't know if it was a zombie or not that he was selling it to.
But like the ones he was selling to didn't look like the little methed out dude you seen at the beginning of the movie. They're just like a regular kid. So maybe those people have figured out the level of bath.
Yeah, because it does mention that like it's like you have to take certain amount.
Yeah.
Because even Liz brings up like, hey, they say that if you take that, you take just the right amount, it gets you really fucking high though. Like,
yeah. When Liz asked that question, I'm like, Liz wants to fuck on bath salts.
Dude, oh my gosh. She looks like the kind who would slip bath salts to that Asian male prostitute, not tell him.
Yeah.
And could you imagine like starting to like trip balls while that's on top of you, screaming in pleasure?
You would think you're like screaming in fear, but then at the same time you're confused because a part of your body's enjoying it so much.
I mean, because she complimented him for that. So I mean,
he kept his dick hard while she
sold
was
him out.
You know,
the dick knew how bad they needed that money.
Yeah, the dick was more broke than he was. The dick said, "Damn it, we need this dollar."
If he wasn't before Liz, he definitely was more broke after Liz, dude. Because I'm sure
the funny part was when it was all said and done. When she gets a phone call, whatever, and she basically, it's time for him to leave. And she throws the money at him. But when she throws the money, you heard like nickels and dimes hitting the floor. I'm like, how cheap was this fucking romp in the sack?
So yeah, because do you remember the line? Because she throws it at him, and it is change. It's definitely coins. I won't say change, because she does say, and if that's not enough silver for you, I got more here, and just points her gun at him.
Like, but I couldn't figure out. But see, when that part happened, remember she opened a drawer? Her drawer was full of all like knives and shit like that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
When she pulled that coat hanger out.
Yeah.
Like she said that they were going to do more. And it was a nice reference. I don't know if you remember the movie American Psycho.
Yeah.
But it's that reference where he says, we're not done yet and stuff like that. But then she gets a phone call and then says, so I don't know what she was going to do to him.
Because when she pulled that clothes hanger out, my mind went directly to like, man, she's going to shove it up the head of his dick. That's what she's going to do with that clothes hanger.
Yeah, because see, like my first thought was like, there's only one place she can put that, which I thought in his butt. But then my brain was like, no, it's not.
No.
And then I went like, oh, like,
yeah,
just like I got my brain for being like, why would you tell me that? Like, I thought, because I was like, man, that's gonna really fucking shred his butthole.
Uh,
Like,
and then I was like, man, this dude. And then when she finally throws the money, when I heard the chains hit the floor, I was like, damn it, dude. Like, you was either cheap as hell, or like I said, maybe she was throwing some straight up silver at him, but it was
maybe
like you
so, because
said,
Liz is old enough to where I wouldn't be surprised. Like if someone put up like 5 women, like 5 old ladies, and was like, which one do you think threw legitimate silver coins at her Asian male prostitute after he had done servicing her? I would have pointed to what Liz looked like.
yeah.
I'd have been like, for sure, 100% if they let him speak first.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, that's definitely the one right there.
Yeah.
And dude, and then yeah, that if that's not enough silver for you, I got more here. But yeah, so when we're back, Rosie and Jason are talking. Jason goes into how like he's lost his house key, and she kind of is like upset about that.
He was really upset about the house key.
Yeah,
Like,
like
way more than I thought. Like I was like, is this key made of gold? Like, what is up with it? Because she got kind of really upset.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was like almost like if you lost like your wedding ring.
Yeah, that's what I was like. It's like, damn.
But even,
my first thought was like, it's not like I'm sitting here watching it going, damn, bitch. It's not like you lost a wedding band. It's a fucking house key. But
right,
she was upset.
and yeah, and you still have yours, so we could go cut another one. And like my thing too is like he's on tour. He said he was on tour. Like per you, his band's big enough to where he goes on tour. Like so, I'm sure they're partying. Like yeah, dude, he probably lost his keys. Like that would be that's certainly plausible. But yeah, not for Rosie. Rosie was pissed. So
and then he used a line that I still don't understand, and I hate the line where it says, "It's not lost. I just can't find it."
Yeah.
I hate that line because to me that just makes no fucking sense. He was like, it's not lost, I just don't know where it is.
Well, I guess maybe that was kind of hinting because he comes up where basically they end up and he breaks up with her and says that he's been, falling out of, love with her and yada yada yada. And then what?
The part where she's arguing with him, and it may be where you was about to go. And when he basically just throws the fucking shot glass at her.
Okay, so first of all, I had to go back and edit my note because I went, Jason threw something.
Yeah.
Because it's a quick flick.
Yeah.
Threw it, and I mean, bang, bro, like dead center mass. You just see blood flow.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like this was a thing with him.
Yeah, I didn't realize that this argument was going to escalate over the house key that fast.
He seemed like the kind of guy that was just going to be like, fuck you, I don't need this. And walk. It's more like an abandoner, not an abuser. Yeah. Like, like he wouldn't have came home.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he does that and it cuts her forehead. And that's when he dumps her. And like, he's basically letting her know that like those groupies, bro.
And he told her, he's like, all there's other girls out on tour. And then he just kept adding on to it. He was like, yeah, and I haven't been real happy, and I have psychopathic tendencies. Yeah. I'm like, what? Where did this come from?
Yeah, dude, he just went overboard on reasons why they could not be together anymore.
He just straight up Dr. Field himself right there in front of her, like, this is all my issues.
Yeah, and so he leaves. Rosie's upset. She's crying. Her forehead's crying. But does she beat him up?
Yeah,
so she kind of like busts
she hits him with a little dust buster type thing. She had
that's right.
And she goes off on this long ass rant, like talking.
Oh, she cuts him a good one. She rips him a new one verbally. Yeah. Again, another part where again I got to give props to Brian Patrick Butler. Some good writing here. If it's not a horror movie.
Yeah.
If it was a horror movie, it'd still be good writing too, but it never turns into that. I just cannot keep fucking reiterating that because I feel like I'm going to bounce around. Like I feel it was so weird, man. This is the most unprepared for a review I've felt in a long time. And I fucking watched it less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
And it's because like, I literally, like, once the credits rolled, I was like, that wasn't a horror movie. And so then I had to go through everything again in my head. I would have loved to have gotten to watch it again before. And I'm usually not that kind of person. I know you usually try to watch it more than once before you do the review.
Yeah.
And I usually don't, because usually that goes into my rating, because it takes a lot for me to rewatch a movie. But yeah, like this one, even if I didn't like it, I feel like I have to rewatch it, because I was, dude, I was waiting for some movie the whole time that never showed up.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I'm looking at the notes and I'm just like, even my notes don't make sense. They just jump. It went, Jason dumps Rosie for the groupies and says he may be psychotic. Next note, Gary is plotting to kill Liz with Tank.
Yeah.
And it does do that. It just jumps the scenes.
It does. It's like you said, it's like a play. It's like they drop the curtain, bring in
Yes.
all the new stage pieces, lift the curtain, and here we go now with this next part, to where Tank, who is like, Liz is like on ground, strong guy that I guess handles her,
like her general almost.
yeah, like big redneck country corn fed looking
Yeah.
with his tank tops and cowboy hats. And the whole time I'm watching this thing, I was like, I knew it was based in, you know, Hemet, California.
Right.
But in my mind, I'm going, man, you could have come down there. You remember growing up in South Carolina, where we from?
Yeah.
The trailer park. What was it called? Sandy Acres or something?
Sandy Acres, bro, because it was back there near the sand pits.
Yeah, like you could have. To me, I'm sitting there going, this whole little group of people, to me, put off that little southerny country way more than it did California. Especially later on when we get to, you know, Liz pulls out Old Glory.
yeah. Well, Liz has a very, very nicely made. It's not some Amazon shit too. She got this one. Someone that spent some. That's a high quality fucking rebel flag that she yanks out of there.
Because when I started watching, they were out there talking, and when Tank showed up and he's talking to him, but like when you first get introduced to Tank, remember when Tank first showed up, it was when Liz called Rosie and was like, I need your parking place because my daughter's coming with her kids.
Yeah, this happened while her and Jason were arguing.
Yeah, while they were arguing.
Yeah.
And so then we get the part, it was so odd because after Rosie kicks Jason out, then all of a sudden it's like they drop the curtain. Bam, we get Tank pulling up in this, it's like in this BMW.
Yeah.
And he's talking, and you see this police officer standing there. And this dude is going back and forth, this police officer, once again, with the funny little one-liners, shit talking, you know, type thing. And I did find that the one part funny where he was just like, the cop was like threatening to shoot him.
Yeah.
Just like your little queer arms couldn't even pick up that gun.
Dude, and then obviously they start laughing, where you can kind of tell, like, oh, okay, like it's small town. Again, if you've ever, we grew up in a small town.
Yeah. Everybody knows.
Anybody who's done that, it gives you those kind of vibes of like the crooked small town. Like if you're from a small enough town, you know about some of the people that are kind of running the show, and things can slide in a small town that don't in other places. And this is kind of the way it does. You feel like the shit, you know, Tank and Liz could completely handle some dirty work if the cops needed it done. And the cops don't ask too many questions about shit that goes down around there. So Tank's bringing Liz's daughter's car. Liz's daughter, her name is Kate. Her and the two grandkids are moving into one of her vacant units. She split up with her husband. Then like the next time. So then after that, I guess, is when Gary is with Tank, and they're talking about killing Liz, or that he wants to take over. He wants to take over the apartments and wants to buy it. Liz doesn't own the apartments. I guess she's
subletting them.
Yes, doing that, and hasn't pulled the trigger on it yet. And Gary has the idea that he wants to buy it and be in charge, and assures Tank that he has the money to do so.
Yep. And then when him and Tank start talking, he's basically trying to talk to Tank like, you know, if there's a way we could just get rid of her.
Yeah.
Way, you know, and then it kind of gets into this whole, I forget exactly how, but comes down to where you find out that something happened to Gary's,
his sister.
Was it sister? No. Remember, they're watching the TV and there was a girl that was raped. and they started watching that TV, and they was talking about that girl getting raped, and then Gary made the comment about how he would take it into his own hands to like basically handle that person who raped the girl.
Yes, because Tank shows him some pictures. There's a hippie guy that shows up. He's one of the tenants. He shows up when Gary and Martin are talking at the table in the beginning. One of the salt zombies walks up, and they're about to kill it. This hippie throws like raw meat and is like, don't kill, it goes into the hippie thing about they're still humans and yada yada. So Tank has pictures showing this hippie guy it basically was assaulting an underage girl, and Tank took pictures of it. And that's how Gary figures out that Tank is spying on all of them and anybody that he knows. And this is why Liz knows what's all going down, because Tank's 100% snooping and spying and all that other stuff. And he's trying to convince Tank to kind of team up with him. Like saying Tank can't enjoy the way she talks to him and orders him around and shit like that.
And then Tank.
And he tries to talk Gary into killing that guy.
Yeah, because he started talking to him about like, how he's with these little girls and how he could take his anger out on him and just get rid of him type thing, and then Gary don't really want nothing to do with it, kind of, and he just kind of wanders off. But then we get him and Rosie. Rosie's out there burning the old boyfriend's shit at the little barrel, and and as he's burning it, Gary comes up and he looks in the barrel while the shit's on fire, and he was just like, "You probably get some money for that stuff."
Yeah, he tries to convince her not to burn her boyfriend's shit and to sell it instead. And she's like, "I don't fucking care," or whatever. And then there's like a small
little hatchet type thing.
Yeah, but it's like kind of styled to look almost like a battle axe, but it's hatchet sized, and like he's like, "You can get $50 for that."
The crazy part is like he was holding it and she was just like, "Oh, he's like, this is really cool." And she was like, "Well, take it, it's yours." Like getting it to him. But he just kept going like, "Are you sure? Like you probably get like, $10 for this. I bet on eBay, you probably get $50 for this on eBay." And I'm just like,
which is crazy, because again, it starts off with Gary talking about like Gary's pretty much his entire thing is like being pissed off he's paying so much and getting ripped off. He seems to be really concerned about money. But then he tells Tank like, "Don't worry, I got it. I could buy this place." And then you later find out he's 100% truthful.
Because of his sister.
Yes. So I don't understand why he was so concerned about money if he had this much money.
Maybe he was trying to let her make some money because he wasn't trying to take it for himself. He was like trying to tell her, like, you could sell this for like $50.
But he was bitching about the rent cost earlier.
Yeah.
And when you find out how much money Gary has, I mean, again, to get ripped off is to get ripped off, no matter how rich you are. So I get the principle of it. But like, he had no reason to bitch about anything.
Yeah. And because you come to find out that apparently his sister.
So, but was that his sister that was on the news?
No, it was just a random girl that was raped on the news.
Okay, all right. So it was just a reminding him of his sister then.
Maybe, but which was weird because a girl getting raped and your sister.
Okay, so that's what I thought, because it never said that happened before the ultimate event that happened to his sister. So I guess maybe it was implying that because his sister. So okay, let's just get to it because we're beating around the bush. So we learned from Gary that the way his sister died. All right, so this part's not funny. All right, his sister it refuses the sexual advances of her boss.
Yep.
And he keeps making passes and she refuses. Well, then he basically find out that his sister is fed to a killer whale, and she works at basically something like SeaWorld.
I think Shamu killed his sister.
I think it's called Finland.
Yeah.
It's like what they called it. But yeah, it's like that. So she was fed to a killer whale, but it doesn't say, it makes it seem like that's what killed her. So maybe because the other girl was raped and killed earlier, it's assumed that the boss did that. But if she was ate by a killer whale, I don't know how they would be enough of her body to be able to find that out. Like I can
Apparently,
see them
though,
getting bones, and I
but
don't
that's
know.
how he got the money because Finland paid.
Yes, he got a settlement because that happened, because it was like the manager, like the park manager, was the one hitting on her, and ultimately he had done it. And you find out that Gary got like a $2 million settlement out of that.
Like 2
So
million.
so like he's got nothing to worry about with money. But yeah, to bounce back, because that's later on. Yeah, Gary tries to convince. I almost worry about telling it, because like there's a lot of shit to spoil, because there's a lot of twists and turns. It is kind of
Let's just say we don't go completely through it.
Yeah,
because it did not give away. Because we do spoil it, but this is one of those that
this is such a weird one, because again, like honestly, if we knew enough about this movie, we probably would not have reviewed it for this show.
Yeah.
Like, because again, like I to the guy who suggested it, great. Honestly, I would love for that guy, if he watches this, to reach out to you, like, or even comment below, or anyone else who watches this, like, do you think that's right? Do you think that the ending, because the ending has a good bit of gore, and it would definitely, if you saw just that ending alone, you would assume it was from a horror movie.
Yeah,
but
the trailer could probably show you every little bloody scene and give you the feeling of like, oh, this is going to be like this slasher horror type movie.
So let me ask you this then. So you've watched the trailer?
No, I still haven't watched the trailer, because I just watched the movie like an hour and a half ago.
Okay, because I'm curious now. Now that we had brought it up, I kind of wish I knew if the trailer presented it as such. But again, I just don't think it would, because there's nothing about this film tries to convince you it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, again, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. There's moments where the comedy is turned off and you are in a horror movie. You can tell they're trying to mimic a horror movie.
Yeah.
The same thing with Shaun of the Dead. Even, I don't think you liked it. I can't remember, but Anna and the Apocalypse, the zombie Christmas musical movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's, when you have a horror comedy, the Evil Dead movies, there's moments where the comedy is completely turned off and it goes into horror. And yet that doesn't even happen with this scene. The comedy keeps going the whole time.
Yeah, even in the end,
because everything is played for fun.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's for fun. The comments, the lines, the little one-liners, even in the end, So I'm curious what the trailer shows, because I haven't seen it, and if the trailer gives us a lot of that kind of the bloody parts, because there are little parts where you get a little blood splat here, Tank swings the golf club at the little meth head.
Because I guess we could sum it up that, because there's a lot of twists and turns. Basically, everybody is trying to outmaneuver, and that's really the crux of the movie. Liz is trying to retain power via Tank, and she knows that she's a piece of shit and everybody's plotting against her. Gary wants to take over it because he's got this money and he wants to be in charge of everything. But something about me I don't think Gary would be any more fun as a landlord than what Liz is as a landlady.
I think Gary to me would become the male version of Liz.
Yes.
If he was stayed there.
Yeah, that would end up happening. And then, you've got Rosie there. You've got this side story with Howie, who's that hippie guy. He gets involved there's a lot of double crossing, people thinking that someone's on their side and then they're not. And yeah, dude, I guess, like, how do you want to?
Let's see, like, here's like, what do you, one of the funny parts, I guess, that was funny to me was this had to be and it was set up to be this way. I get it. But the dumbest group of police officers.
Holy shit, dude.
Oh man, the dude when they finally, and we told you we was gonna spoil some shit here.
Yeah.
But when fucking our boy Tank gets the back of his head blowed out.
Yeah, so Tank has this whole thing is so convoluted, so that Rosie is involved, but Howie the hippie looks like he's kidnapped Rosie and is going to sexually abuse her, and possibly, it's like he's done before. So Tank's trying to get Gary to kill Howie under that guise. Tank's trying to get Howie to kill Gary so that and Tank tells Howie that if he does that, he won't tell the cops about it, so he'll just go to jail for life versus Tank will kill him.
Yeah.
Or he'll go to jail as a sexual predator and probably get fucked up in there.
If you
all
see
this other
Tank,
stuff.
when you see Tank, you would understand the plan he come up with.
Yeah,
look at Tank and be like, okay, that plan makes sense.
And the sheriff buys it hook, line, and sinker because he's dumb as shit and he's buying everything until Mickey the cop suddenly just fucking blows Tank's the hole through Tank's head from behind because he's mishandling the gun while he was trying to check to see if it was loaded.
Without any rubber gloves on, just fingerprinting the shit out of this thing. He's like holding it. And that was the only part of the movie where it kind of made you it kind of catches you off guard because you seeing Hank just
he's laughing from the front, then bam.
Yeah, Tank sitting there saying his bullshit line. Next thing you know, you see a hole just fucking and a quick little splat of blood. And
blood hits Rosie's face, and the sheriff's like
and then you get old fucking India version Barney Fife standing in the background
because he's not even holding it right either. He's holding it like double-handed, like the gun laying across, like he's cradling it.
Yeah,
like he's never seen a gun before tonight, and it's a genuinely funny scene.
Yeah,
I thought so as a dumb, stupid kind of funny, but that happens, and then. Yeah, dude. Like then Liz does some convoluted stuff that goes along with acting like her grandkids have been kidnapped. Her. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, what is there anything else you want to spoil?
I'm down for
it.
One thing I want to spoil is the greatest line in the movie, and it is where there's a part where the sheriff comes in there to interview Liz at Liz's little room.
Yes.
He comes in there.
That's a great scene, by the way.
It is. She's in her wheelchair, opens the door, sheriff comes in, and he asks her, is like, do you have any tea? And she kind of, as she's rolling into the kitchen without missing a beat, without a pause or nothing, she's like, I only drink 4 things: blood, cum, coke, and rum. And I've already had 3 of them today.
Yes.
That line there, I was like, I rewound it back just to hear it again. Because
I had to, because I didn't catch the first thing she talked about. And I was like, fuck did she say? Like, I had to go back and I was like, holy shit, dude. Like,
and it was like, and when she said that, I was like, man, I would hang out with Liz. Like, I would just to listen to the shit she talks. And
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and with Liz, what you come to find out, it's almost like Liz is running her little, I call it a trailer park. That's just what it's felt like to me. Her little thing is like a little commune. Like
she starts referring to them as followers.
Yeah, because there's a part
where she's calling meetings where like she's doing like she's talking to them and stuff as like a group.
Yeah, and she's talking to them and like she's kind of running this little group, and then all of a sudden, when she's having the meetings, we see her out of the blue roll out with the Confederate flag, and I was like,
"Yeah,
what?" And good quality conflict.
Yes. This was. I would like to know how much of the $29,000 was spent on this.
Went to the flag
because it looked like a high quality. And again, I just wonder, like, did y'all happen to get one that was high quality, or were you guys like, no? Like, was it conscious where you're like, Liz would spend money? Liz would spend good money on this. We have to do this. Because I venture that any extra expenditure should have went towards the makeup. But I think it would be hilarious if you guys were like, no, Liz would have to have a nice one because it looked nice. It didn't look shitty.
It was, because apparently when everything was going down, when Liz had the whole little group of the people there, had the police there going through the rooms. And basically they were just like trying to figure out how this whole thing went down, who is responsible for these killings that took place the night prior. And so the sheriffs and all going through the rooms.
Yeah, this is when Tank got shot. Gary gets killed. Howie the hippie gets killed. Rosie's the only one that makes that a scenario alive.
Yeah, and so they're trying to figure out who did it. So they're going through the rooms, and that's where this flag apparently belonged to Tank. And not surprised when you see Tank, I can
no.
He definitely he definitely got a flag on the wall and probably had a belt buckle on at the same time, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
And then when she took that flag, she was just so happy with it. And then
Yeah.
shortly after that, she's got that thing on her wall. Like as soon as you walk in her
Yeah.
door, like pink
Like it's been there for
walls.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like pink walls with some Chinese looking decorations, but
It
right there
looks
on
like
the
an old lady's house. It looks like
yeah,
an old lady's place, but with a brand new, very nicely well-made rebel flag
yeah, just
hanging on the wall.
right when you come in the door, and I'd be like, well, getting rid of old Marvin. What was his name? Marvin in the beginning.
Martin.
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 Yeah, getting rid of Martin in the beginning made sense now. We know why you
Yeah.
got rid of Martin.
Yeah. She said that he had mold.
Yeah, it
And
was.
she was like, who lets that happen to their place?
Yeah, she blamed you because of mold in his room. We know why she kicked Martin out now. Once we
Yeah.
seen that flag.
But there was a cool thing, and I thought I liked it at the end where, and I won't say why they're there, but Rosie and Liz are together. This is near the end of it. And when it kind of starts talking about like it's, I forget the build up why they're kind of talking, but Liz kind of explains why she is the way she is, and she says that that she had to choose between love and comfort when she was younger, and she chose comfort, and she hasn't felt anything since.
Mhm.
And then right before she does what she does, she says that she'll never choose comfort again. I thought that was a pretty good scene. So I guess let's all right. So what do you give this movie, man? And this might be a shorter episode, but again, like it's weird, man. I almost feel like I didn't watch it because again, I was watching it waiting for the horror and to observe where the horror was, you know, and again, if anyone considers this horror, put it in the comments, like why?
Before we get to the rating though, give me kind of like some well, I could also when it comes to the how'd you feel about the effects? Because I'm big on like, you know, I love gore horror type, any type of if you're gonna come to horror, I like a good old fashioned killing and getting fucked up. How'd you feel they did on it?
So I was worried at first because like one of the first kills, quote unquote, that takes place is with Jason, the boyfriend. He's out on the streets after he's broke up with Rosie. He plays into the ending, but you assume that a salt head gets him at a dumpster.
Yeah.
Well, he just turns around and reacts as though something's there and it doesn't show anything. And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Because this is not too long after we've seen the bad old lady makeup. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, like I don't.
Gonna be a lot of off-scene shit here. We're done.
Well, yeah, because like it's when people pull off something really good on a micro budget, it's awesome. But there's a lot of people who have made movies on a micro budget that, no offense, I'm not very impressed. It does look like it costs that much.
Yeah.
What's really impressive is when it doesn't look like that. And this movie, you could tell, had a small budget, but you wouldn't have guessed that small of a budget.
Yeah.
I don't think most people would have if you know about making movies. They definitely put a lot on the film for that. As far as like the blood and gore and stuff, I thought it was well done. It was done in line with the comedy. Again, like even the blood and gore, it was never ever played as though it was supposed to be horrific.
Yeah.
Anytime it was almost comedic scenes. You know, there's a severed hand that plays a massive role for a decent bit in the movie. It's a comedy prop.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you feel about as far as like the blood and the gore? Like, how did you feel they did with that at least? Because again, this is a horror podcast, so let's talk about at least what was horror.
Yeah, because I enjoy that type of shit. Yeah, I love it. Like the more killing, gory, bloody shit, you know, I just like it.
Yeah.
And so I expected like when that I was the same way when that scene where her boyfriend went to the dumpster looking for some food or whatever, and something's coming up behind him, and he's like freaking out. Well, I automatically assume, okay, one of the little bath salt dudes, him up type thing. But then it was just like that quick little the way he reacted, and then it was just like cut, and I was like, right then I was like, oh man, this is gonna be bad. And then we got the part to where Tank hits the one dude with the golf club upside the head. It was just so quick. You kind of see it, but it was like a quick away thing.
Right.
They see nothing. And
Which again, that would make sense with a micro budget.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know,
most stuff like
30K, that would make sense that you were like, yo, because again, I would say, if you're not going to be able to pull it off, don't fucking do it.
yeah, and
If
probably
the only way you could do it with a budget is to cut away from it, okay,
Yeah.
I get that, but yeah, it didn't look like a good sign.
yeah, but all of them were decent, for that budget. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
hate on it because, like I said, I've seen movies with bigger budgets than that
Oh God, yeah.
give me some fucking
Oh.
shitty looking stuff. And so to know that budget, the only one that I had the problem with, and I say I have a problem, like I know I couldn't do better. I can't make movies. I don't have
Yeah, exactly.
So I am not hating on anybody that's able to make movies, do graphic type work, do makeup effects. I'm not hating on you. What I would have liked to see, the only one, was the part where the boy threw the shot glass and hit Rosie in the head. If they would have made that come from more up in the hairline,
Yes,
I feel
because
like it would look more, because where it was coming right in the middle of her forehead,
there was
there really
clearly
wasn't nothing there. It was just like the blood running off her nose. And I believe if he would have let him hit her and let the blood come from her hairline.
Yeah, because the hair would have hid the wound.
It would have hid the wound. It
Yep.
would have looked more. That was the only one where I was like, if they would have just moved that blood, if they just poured it right on the top of her head and let it just run down.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he hit her like right in the top of the head with it. But that was the only one. I think
they could have used more blood there too.
Yeah.
You could have used the thicker blood to have even indicated that it was a tougher wound. But again, it's stuff like that again, you're right. Like and that might be something they watch back and they're like, fuck, he's, if anybody from the movie ever sees this where they're like, son of a bitch, I told you we should have put it in the hairline. Like it would have looked better. Like I could totally see that be the kind of thing. Cause like, we're not filmmakers. And if we were like, hey, what if we tucked it into the hairline a little bit there? But that's the kind of things that you have to think outside of the box when you're working with a small budget. And that's why it's always fun to watch movies like this.
Yeah.
Like I didn't read that. I actually had the IMDb up while I was taking my notes so that I could reference actors and writers' names and stuff if I needed to. And that's where I think it was on IMDb that I saw that it was made for 30K, like within the first few minutes of watching it. So I did at least know that I did know that about it going into it. So what rating do you give it?
For me, I'm going to fuck it.
And
the reason when I first started watching it, when I first finished it, like as soon as I was done, my first thought was like, man, I think I'm going to kill it. But then I got to thinking about it a little more. And what I had to do was kind of take away some of the horror side of it, which is odd because this is a horror show. And I kind of look back at it as like, for me, I like some blood. I like some killing. It gave me some blood. It gave me some killing. Liz alone makes me want to watch it again.
Yes.
Just to pay more attention to what she says, because she is so sharp-tongued where it just rolls off the tongue, the whole thing, and I was entertained by her. It was funny watching her. And, I liked the little one-liners in it, and was there some cheesy lines? Was it some cheesy acting? Yes. But at the end of the day, me, and if anybody who's listening to this show, I am a sucker for a good B movie. That just one of those that, never heard of it and having a chance to watch it, and just one of those movies that as I'm watching it, like my wife walks in as I'm watching it, and she happened to walk in just as it was a scene of Liz talking, and she's
okay.
And she didn't say nothing to me. I just seen her looking at the screen like, what are you watching? And, and she had that reaction of like, what is this? But as I got done and was thinking about it, I'm like, I wasn't bored. At no point did I get bored. At no point I picked up on the humor side of it. which is hard to do. I feel like when it comes to people, when they try to give it a horror comedy type thing, because I feel like it can either be, you can go way too far one way, and where this one I think went more dark comedy than it did horror, you know. But at the end of it, man, I look back on it, and it's like I enjoyed the ride when it was all said and done, you know, and I'll watch it again, like I said, for Liz alone,
Right.
you know, to pick up on the one-liners. And anytime I get to hear the line, I only drink four things: blood, cum, coke, and rum. I'm like, holy shit, Liz.
That's, I mean, that's, I don't know who would want to wear it and let people know that, but that's a shirt. That's a shirt waiting for somebody. Maybe you need to go ahead and make that.
I may have to get one of those.
You may just have to. You may just have to. I don't know who.
I only drink four things.
Yeah.
Coke and rum. I'm like,
and on the back, it better says that I've already had 3 out of 4 of those already. And I've already had 3 of those today.
And I feel like if there's some people out there, if you listen to this shit show, you probably fucked in the head. So some of you ladies out there would probably sport some shit like that. You know,
I got to tell you what, man,
fellas,
under the right circumstances, if I was a single man and I see a chick at a bar rocking that shirt, I got to at least know. I got to know. Like she might eat me alive, but let's see. Let's see where it goes.
I could want to put a ring on that one.
Right. Yeah, I may need to protect her at all costs. So I need to go talk to her. She may be the one.
Yeah, I may need to put bubble wrap on this one and take it home.
She's special. She has that. Someone made her just for me. She's as God made her. But
what about you? What about you?
So as a horror movie, it's a kill because it's not a horror movie in my opinion.
Yeah,
but this is also someone telling you that this is not a horror movie, and someone who was literally and very actually creeped out by Skinamarink. And I'm sure everybody who disliked that been like, it's not even a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
So again, I would anybody who considers this a horror movie, I'd love to hear why. I don't find it to be a horror movie at all. I get this, to me, is a dark comedy made by people who also like horror movies.
Yeah.
I definitely could see where people who made this movie like horror. Just some of the kills and the way they were shot and stuff like that. I can only give it a fuck as well. It's a fuck that I think may be a Mary. Again, I don't like, so I'll be honest, I don't like most trauma movies. I just don't. It's almost because the comedy is too stupid. It's too dumb. And there's I mean, obviously people who like that kind of stuff because they've been doing it for decades and everything like that. But I am a fan of Pink Flamingos. I am a fan of John Waters films. I like Multiple Maniacs. I do like that kind of stuff. And this for me falls more in line with that kind of comedy, of dark comedy, and with the way that it kind of presents the grossness. This is another one of those movies that feels dirty. And if you watch any of John Waters, particularly his early stuff, when he was a really independent filmmaker in Baltimore, he had to shoot on location, and he was a dirty hippie, and all of his friends were dirty hippies. So his movies looked dirty. This looks dirty. It feels dirty. It feels lived in. I'm sure everything was shot on location, and that's why they probably had access to this place and wrote a movie around it, because that's usually some of your more expensive things to do, is to actually have a scene. Liz is awesome. I fucking love Liz, and that's why I want to watch it again, just like you said. 100%. What was the guy's name again? Brian Patrick Butler. You wrote an awesome character. You acted an awesome character. I still say there had to have been movie money allocated somewhere else. I feel like, because the facial stuff on Liz, again, when I say it looked bad, and you can back me up, it always only looked bad around the mouth and the eyes. The forehead, the facial stuff to look old looked fine and competently done. So I don't know what went wrong there. And again, we don't know shit about making it. So people who make that might be like, oh, the eyes and the mouth area is the toughest part to get right. Yeah. I feel like, man, for God's sakes, if you got to fucking kickstart 5Gs extra, come to us next time. we'll find you $5,000 to make sure that Liz doesn't look like she's talking out of a prolapsed anus, and only like half of the scenes too.
Yeah.
So like, again, I'd be, and they shoot these things out of order, depending on availability. So again, when you see that, maybe they only had access to a couple of prosthetics and they just got worn out over the, I don't know. I would love to know. Maybe they had someone that was making them and they quit halfway through or couldn't afford them anymore and they, whatever. But again, Liz was the focal point and selling point of it. So that would be my only criticism. That is your focus. If you only have a limited budget, then figure out where the money goes first. And in this instance, I would have came out, if I was a producer or something, and been like, no, everything goes to making Liz look good because she's what this movie's built around. We'll figure out how to afford everything else afterwards.
But But on the other side of it, I feel there's a part of me that feels like that I don't know why, but just being that fucked up face, God, it almost like if it would have been a more normal looking grandma, would it have sold the same?
And again, that's another one of those, in an alternate universe, this movie was made for $35,000 and Liz does not have what looks like an asshole mouth, and we'll never know. And we'll never know if it was better or worse for that. And I don't know. Again, this would be another one of those, like if you ever had the opportunity to talk to somebody that made this movie, I would love to know. I mean, it would just be interesting to talk to someone who makes movies.
Oh yeah.
What, this was made last year, so in modern times, making movies with that small of budgets, it's just great to pick their brain anyway. But I would love to know like some of these things, because I'm like, again, like there was scenes where the quality was right.
Yeah.
So why was it not in other scenes? And I would just be interested to know genuinely why that. Did y'all just run out of money and those scenes were shot later and you guys were like, no, we could not get that fucking money.
Because it was funny because like toward the end of it, there were scenes in the very beginning, she had them drawn on dark black eyebrows. And then later there were scenes in her room where she didn't have no eyebrows at all.
Yeah.
Like she didn't have them drawn on. And that's when the makeup to me looked more natural, but like I said, those scenes where she was kind of like in her room, they seemed more, she looked more natural, like it fit more than like the very beginning when she first showed up. My first note was the first note I put, I was like, shitty makeup on grandma. And like I said, it was, but then as soon as she started talking, completely redeemed herself. And I was like, I'm here for this lady.
And again, it's one of those where it's literally, there may be one other scene, and I'm trying to think of it because I remember thinking at the time when the scene later in the movie happened, where I remember thinking at the time, I was like, I wish I could watch the very first scene with Liz and this scene right back to back, because either the very first scene or that scene later in the movie was the worst that the prosthetic looked the whole movie.
Yeah. And
it literally, I wonder if, like, I don't know why I said literally so much right then. I'm trying to figure out how to word this, but I would wonder if that very first scene, if that was one of the scenes where the makeup looked right, if I would have noticed it as much the rest of the movie. But because the very first time we see her, it's one of the worst times that it looks the whole movie.
Yeah, because the rest of the movie, I just kept watching her mouth.
Absolutely.
All the time. Just watching her mouth.
Absolutely. And that would be one of the first things I would look for anytime she would show up. How's it look this time?
Yeah.
But again, and because also too, it wasn't consistently bad.
Yeah.
So again, I'm like, there's a story here, man. So like and again, maybe it adds to the charm of the movie, because this is a movie, to get back to my actual vote or my actual thing where I said, I would kill it. This is a kill that I think, or no, sorry, this is a fuck that I think what actually probably ends up going to be a Mary for me, because I like this movie. Really gave me Pink Flamingos and Multiple Maniac vibes, and I'm a big Pink Flamingos fan. I've watched that movie numerous times. I genuinely enjoy it, and I really think that once I can rewatch this, knowing I'm going to see a fucking weird, gross out kind of dark comedy, and I don't have to take notes, and I get to just enjoy Liz and the other characters, I could honestly see this is probably going to be a comedy, a dark comedy that is a Mary for me on Liz alone. She, again, even if you're not a horror fan, even if you're not like, well, I don't really know if that's my thing, you have to watch this for Liz. For fuck's sake, watch it. The dialogue, again, Brian Patrick Butler, some great dialogue here. I'd love to know how much was written, how much was improv. And it's not just Liz. Like when Rosie's blessing.
Yeah, when Rosie's going off on Jay, that was a good
she
good
gets some
run. Like she was into it, man. Like just quick, just talking, like ripping him an asshole.
And I remember, and you probably wouldn't have caught it at one time, she calls him Davey Havoc, which is the lead singer for a kind of punkish emo. The band's called AFI. They were bigger back in the day. Well, she did that. I was like, nice. And like, like only a certain few people, and they're a Southern California punk band. So maybe the filmmakers are from Southern California like this. So maybe that ties back to there, but an extra little layer in this parfait for me that everyone may not get.
There was numerous times in the movie they dropped little movie titles or little movie
references
to other things. I like that because it made me think, like, it maybe just kind of catches me. I'm like, oh shit, I've seen that movie, or I know what they're kind of talking about type thing.
And that's why I said this was a fucked up comedy made by horror fans. That scene with Liz and the prostitute with the coat hanger. American Psycho is one of my favorite movies of all time. And that is 100% an homage to that scene. And I fucking loved it. And that's another thing where I feel like there's probably more of those in there that I didn't catch.
Yeah.
A, because I was taking notes, but B, the whole time I'm like, what is this? Is it going to turn into a horror? Where's the horror? Yada, yada. Because I wasn't watching it just to watch a movie for fun. I was watching it to talk about it on a horror movie podcast. So I was really looking for the horror the whole time, more than I would be if I just watched it normal. So I think, as a horror, I don't know, man. Still watch. I definitely recommend to watch it though. Even as a horror fan, because again, I think there's going to be people who are like, yeah, no, this is this type of horror.
Yeah.
And fair enough. Again, I found Skinamarink to be a genuinely unsettling movie. And everybody who didn't like that movie was like, that's not it's barely a movie, and B, it's certainly not a horror movie. And I'm like, you sure? Because it fucking freaked me out. So,
and like it comes to horror is always, I feel like, is something different to everybody. There's some people that, seeing a lady take a chainsaw and saw a girl's leg off.
That happens. Yeah. And there's some gore in that. Like I said, in that final 5 minutes, there's some fucking gore, bro. People are losing limbs. There's chainsaw legs, but it's never, even when Liz is cutting off her own leg with the chainsaw, spoiler, the noises she's making, I'm sitting there, I can't take it serious. It's almost like she's into it. Like,
it's almost like she was enjoying it. Like I started picturing sexual Liz again.
Right? Yeah, I'm just like, oh man, like new kink unlocked. Like, that's not good.
You just took her. She just took her love life to another level right now.
I'm like, I really hope that Asian prostitute's gotten his shit together, because she's going to be begging for that clothes hanger if Chainsaw Liz gets a hold of him, because she's still alive at the end.
Yeah. And,
and I won't get into everything that goes on with it, because like I said, but I don't consider it a horror movie. And I don't know. Again, but I wasn't bored. Definitely. And I don't think most people are going to be bored. And I think Liz is going, I don't know. I hope more people see this, because I feel like Liz is kind of one of those, like almost a character. I hope the filmmakers, if they ever get a chance to make a movie on a bigger budget, that they almost build another movie around that character of Liz again. Because she was very enjoyable, and I can't wait to watch this with knowing what kind of movie it is and not needing to take notes. And I really look forward to listening and seeing all the dialogue that I missed, because there's a lot of rapid fire, very witty dialogue. And I know I had to have missed it. And I'm sure there was sight gags and references and stuff that I missed because of being just kind of caught kind of on my heels the whole time with this movie, with trying to review it. But yeah, man, Hemet or The Landlady Don't Drink Tea. I don't know if it's a horror movie. I definitely know I laughed, and I definitely know I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, we're definitely fucking it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, yeah. And I feel like I might be fucking it like Liz by the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like I said, it was just, it.
What was the guy's name that suggested it to you on IG? What was his name?
I wanted to say it was either Daniel or David Butler. Let me see.
I remember Butler because
Daniel Butler. He hit me up through Instagram. Hit me up, and
I would definitely love to know, like, why he suggested. Did he tell you why he suggested it to you?
He didn't, but I want to know, Daniel, if you listen. Cause I hit him up and told him we were going to do. I hit him up on Instagram and said we're going to do our show this week on it. And so if he listens to it, you know, I'm kind of curious of, like, one, how he found it.
Yeah.
He knew about it, you know, because I only come across stuff like that when I go down my Tubi rabbit hole, and I haven't come across it.
Well, and this is crazy because when we were talking about Cannibal Mukbang a couple of weeks ago, we were sitting, like, you could stumble on Cannibal. You know, for instance, I think Cannibal Holocaust is on there. Either that or Cannibal Ferox. One or both of them are on Tubi. So I could see you searching for the term cannibal and finding Cannibal Mukbang.
Yeah.
Hemet or The Landlady Don't Drink Tea. I don't know what the fuck you're going to type into Tubi to accidentally find this.
Yeah. I don't know the algorithm that takes you down.
Bro, yeah. Mr.
Title.
Butler needs to let us know what else he's been watching on Tubi. Yeah, I think he owes us. We may need to actually get him and do like a little trio post fucking review, but with him or something to figure out, like, why. I'd like to know why he wanted your take on it. Did he like it? And again, like, what fucking made Tubi suggest? What kind of crazy fucking guy is watching shit on Tubi to where Tubi's like, hey,
how is this? How is this thing even getting found on Tubi?
Dude, because I'll tell you this much. I had to type the entire word Hemet before it showed up, like, on the side of the screen.
Yeah.
I didn't even get, like, HEME didn't even pop this fucker up for me.
Yeah, it's like, so
I'd love to know.
You know, because with movies like this, and that's what makes me wonder, you know, when we have a chance to talk about movies like this, and being able to bring attention to something that I scroll through Tubi all the time, people. I look for
that's like your main thing.
Yeah, I love looking for these types of movies, and I have never heard or seen this thing come across Tubi until Daniel Butler hit me up and dropped me the link to it, and I was like, holy shit, this is on Tubi. And you know, and it was, like I said, I don't watch trailers. I had no idea what I was going into.
No.
I just went into it blind, and, you know, and like John said, I kept waiting on to make it feel horror, and it just never hit.
Yeah.
But, and like I said, watching it again, knowing that, okay, I'm not sitting here waiting for that feeling that, like, oh shit, something's about to happen, and just being able to watch it for what it is, you know, and just go along and try to keep up with Liz, because Liz will be firing shit like off the hip.
Oh yeah.
Like, holy shit, what did she just say?
Which again, it's this movie, this kind of movie, and the way it was done, it's going to be it's make or break with Liz.
Yeah.
And Liz makes it. The asshole lips in the first scene almost breaks it.
Yep.
And that's why I was just like, dude, like, if there was any way around that, and I would love to know if there was, like, if they were just like, yeah, there was just no fucking saving that, brother. That's as best as we could do. Cool, yeah. I'll let it go. But yeah, that put me immediately like, because I already when you sent this, I was like, all right, let me get ready to shit on this because this is another one of they fucking just dug this out of the bowels of fucking Tubi, somewhere Tubi just literally just slung it down there, just like, fuck it, someone will watch it. It's free content. We're Tubi, we'll take it.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's yeah, I for sure, if you're a fan of really weird comedy, if you're a John Waters fan or a Trauma fan, you need to watch it. If you like weird fucking comedy or just kind of hearing us talk about it and knowing the kind of people we are from watching previous episodes, and I mean, trying to review it is at a loss for words for both of us because we just did not expect this at all. But dude, Liz is awesome, dude. Liz is the shit.
Liz is worth the price of admission.
She's like the female. She's like the female, not to the same extent, but like Papa Corn, like from Circus to the Dead, like just a complete showstopper. And honestly, dude, like I don't know. I'm looking at the guy's IMDb, Brian Patrick Butler, and he doesn't have a lot going on. Certainly post this, and I tell you what, man, I hope if there's people out there, I hope that he gets some more work because as a writer, he's clearly good, but as an actor and as Liz, at least as Liz, dude, like
I think there's something. Liz could be something.
Liz is iconic. Like, like how we have art and, Pennywise and stuff like that. Like, dude, like Liz is one of those, like, I wish this was a franchise type setup because I want to see more of Liz.
Yep.
Like for sure, as a kid, if Brian Patrick Butler has no idea of what to do with his career, you need to put on a little bit better face makeup. And I don't know, man, like I could watch Liz do like Joe Bob Briggs and host like a thing where she talks about horror movies.
Yeah.
I could watch Liz as a character do a lot of shit because she is well written by Brian Patrick Butler and well acted by Brian Patrick Butler. And I don't want to shit on anybody else because there were several, Kimberly Weinberger, Rosie.
Yeah.
Did a great job. Very, very well done. Amy LaJoy, she played Liz's daughter, Kate. She did great. Randy Davison as Sheriff Hunting. He was very funny. Yeah. I enjoyed him. Matthew Rhodes as Gary. Everybody. Nick Young as Tank. Everybody did well. This movie did not feel like $30,000 at all. And literally the only time it did was that first scene. Liz's fucking this part of Liz. That and this.
Yeah.
Let you know. And, okay, $29,000. Okay.
And one thing I noticed right off the bat when I started watching it was a lot of times with really low budget movies, and maybe it's because it's 2024 and this better video quality stuff. But a lot of times when you see movies like this, it isn't shot that great. The sound's not that great. You can always hear. It feels like the footsteps are always louder for some reason.
Yeah,
it's just little stuff like that. But when this one, like it was to me, it looked. And I'm not a video guy. I can barely take a fucking selfie with my phone, so I don't understand it. But for me, I felt like it was shot very clean looking. To me.
No, again, Tony Olmos, the director, well done. Like, again, everybody who was involved in this definitely did their job better than 30,000 by a long shot.
Yeah.
And again, I wouldn't even mentioned it. And honestly, like I said, it would be funny to know like if that's part of her charm or not. But there's scenes where her makeup looks perfect. It looks perfectly fine. The prosthetic does. And every time you can't take your eyes off Liz. And you definitely can't stop listening to Liz. Like, dude, he could literally, you could do a podcast as Liz. You don't have to wear the fucking makeup. Wear the makeup and take some pictures. I would listen to that kind of dialogue and the delivery and shit like that. I enjoy that. Liz.
I would like to have Mr. Butler come on here and let me interview him and just talk to me
Wait a second. The guy who suggested its last name was Butler. The writer's last name is Butler.
You think they could be kin?
You said it's a David Butler? David or something Butler, Derek, Donnie.
Damn it. Daniel Butler.
Daniel Butler. Brian Patrick Butler is the writer's name.
Damn it, Daniel. I got to hit Daniel up.
I just now put that together.
I didn't even realize that.
No, because when you were like, we have to get Mr. Butler on, I at that point when you said it, because we had talked earlier about Daniel and doing like a three-way. I hate calling it three-way. Like I hate that. I kept coming to that fucking thing. It was like a threesome. That's not any better. Like, I don't know, a triple threat, a triple threat match video. And when you were like, we got to meet Mr. Butler on, in my head, I was like, well, which one? And then I was like, holy shit, they have the same last name. So now I'm curious, did he slide up in there to get a review or not? Or is it a family member? Either way, I don't give a shit. And if Daniel Butler is Brian Patrick Butler, fucking let Jay know so he can interview you, because and if you have access to a facial prosthetic you could put on, let him interview you as Liz. That'd be even better.
I would love to have a conversation. I would let Liz just talk shit to me for an hour.
I'll crowdsource. We'll crowdsource some money to get a Liz face for you to come on the show as Liz and talk to Jay. I will fucking take that mission on.
I would enjoy it. Just sit here and just cuss me out and then just go full on Liz on the show.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Answer any questions that I won't answer. You could do it as Liz, and it would not have. We're definitely not PG-13 here, so you could just fucking.
Oh yeah, yep. You could do everything. Yeah, you could play your greatest hits and use the C word as much as you like, Mr. Brian Patrick Butler.
Yeah, we welcome the C word.
Absolutely, yes. We're big fans of that. We advocate for its use.
But yeah, it is. And like I said, I would have never heard of it because I just don't know how I would have dug down into and come across it. And like I said, I love movies like this. I enjoy getting to watch, especially independent films.
Yes.
Films
that get much more independent and done again, a budget. Just to let everyone know, that's roughly the budget of the Blair Witch Project. And that was made in the late 90s.
Yep.
And was done found footage style. And they still cost them that much roughly. So this is further proof, man. I mean, this is 30 years after that, and someone made a movie that looks like a movie, not found footage so they could get away with shit.
Yep.
And they did that for roughly the same budget that the Blair Witch people did 30 years ago. So it is possible. And for that reason alone, if you're an aspiring filmmaker and you watch this, you absolutely must go watch this movie to see and get your wheels turning for what is possible. You do not have to, again, even the shit we picked on, easily you could throw 5 to 10K more to the people who made this movie to help them with some of those prosthetics, and you would never in a million years guess that it was made for less than $50,000 even.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of it. Yeah, we got two fucks here. Me and John both fucking it.
Yeah. And like I said, I feel like once I watch it again and take it on, to me, in my mind, more as a comedy, which is what it is. And to me, I honestly, I'm hoping that there's a physical release that I can add to it. And I definitely know that when I watch it, I'm going to make Joe, my wife, watch it with me, because I think she's going to enjoy Liz.
Yeah.
And
same way.
Yeah. And so, and that's always a good sign too, when even if you're still unsure about a movie, when you're like, let me spread it to someone else. That's always a good thing when you want to do that. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to watch this, even if it's not quite your cup of tea. And it's not even for this channel, but like I said, I'm glad we did it solely, even though it was a hard thing to review in the scope of this channel. I'm glad that I had a reason to find out about this movie and watch it. And that was the same way with Cannibal Mukbang, dude. Like,
yeah,
telling you, dude, like people, I think I've got to give Tubi more of a chance than what I've been doing, man. Cause the past two things I've done with you, I'm very much happy that I watched them, and I would have never watched them but for this channel.
Yeah, I'm same way, and
even more so this, dude. Like I said, like you said, I have no idea how anybody finds out about this movie, and now I wonder, because we were sitting there like, how the fuck did this guy find out about this movie? I'm betting he's Ken. And that's fine. That's sneaky, but I like that shit. I dig it.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him. He recommended it.
We
to
did
me.
an episode about it. If that's what he was wanting to happen,
Yeah.
you motherfucking succeeded. So mask off, dude, and let us praise you and spread you further.
Little. Let me see something real quick.
Uh-oh.
This is for you, Daniel. Hey,
Absolutely.
You shot your shot, buddy.
No, yeah. Like I said, we didn't even fucking figure it out until right at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I was not putting it together, and I've messaged him through Instagram and looked at IMDb, and not one time did I put it together. But
yeah,
I'm glad because
I
know for a fact my Tubi algorithm wouldn't have took me to Landlady Don't Drink the Tea.
Yeah, and honestly, like I feel like if I had one other suggestion, I think just maybe call it The Landlady Don't Drink Tea. That would have intrigued me more than the Hemet part. But I did see somewhere, and I'm sure it was done by reviewers that are actually talented and have actually practiced the art and deserve to be called reviewers, unlike us. That there was a lot of, obviously this was kind of showing as like there's some socio-political and economic commentary going on here. And then I saw something where it was kind of referred to almost like a Shakespearean work. So I wonder if that's why it was titled that way. Again, Daniel Butler, reveal yourself for who you truly are and get us in if you're Brian Patrick Butler for real, that's cool. But if you know him, get him in touch with us, because now, we've got great questions to ask him. And anybody who watches this, make sure you tell at least one other person to watch it, because nobody's going to fucking stumble on this movie otherwise. There's just no fucking way.
Yeah. And that's going to wrap it up, family, for another episode of the Fright Flick Fuck, Marry, Kill. We got 2 fucks here for this movie. Hemet or The Landlady Don't Drink the Tea.
I wonder, you know what though? I bet Liz drinks Gentleman Jack.
I hope Liz does. She did say she'd do the Coke and rum.
That's what I'm saying. So I guarantee you that she would, if you brought that in, I bet she wouldn't turn it down.
I bet Liz.
Yeah.
Cheers, Liz.
Yep. These are for you.
Hey, listen, family. This is that time of the episode. Everybody reach over, grab your drinks, put your chairs away, gather up all y'all shit, and y'all get the fuck out of here.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
Monsters!
All you have left is thy desire.
My name is Frankenstein! That man's got Mars!
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I ate his liver with some fava beans. Nice community. Business.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive! It's alive!
Here's Johnny.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror.
Welcome to the debauchery.